Wish you all a very happy new year. If you have been thinking of coming to Canada and you wanted to know which is the most economical way, which is the fastest way, which is the program in which you can do it yourself without having to go to an agent or a immigration consultant, how and where to find all the right information, then this video is for you. In today's video, I will be taking you through express entry process, which is one of the most economical and the fastest way to immigrate to Canada, and it is also very competitive. So we both will navigate the government website, and I will present in a way which you can understand, you can connect the dot and make yourself competitive above the others, and you will get to know where to find relevant information, how to find that, and how to ensure that you have a game plan with which you can achieve your Canadian dream. But before that, if you are new to my channel, please subscribe to my channel, as I keep bringing such relevant videos which will be helpful to you. So I hope you have subscribed by now, and without wasting much time, let's go to the computer screen.
So friends, Canada government's immigration policy is one of the most transparent policy I find in entire world, especially when it comes to express entry, where you are directly dealing with the government. So what is express entry program? It's an online system to manage application for permanent resident for three programs. What are these three programs? Federal Skilled Worker Program, Federal Skilled Trade Program, and Canadian Experience Class. What are these? We will understand in detail, but for now, let us see the comparison which will give you an overview of what these programs are. Okay, so let me go down here, and here you see this table, the eligibility criteria, language skill, type and level of work experience, amount of work experience, job offer, and education. Okay, now for Canadian Experience Class, basically you have to work in Canada to be eligible for this class, where your English or French language skill has to be CLB 7, which is Canadian Language Benchmark 7. If you are in NOC 0 or A. What is NOC 0, A and B? It is the type of work experience which has been categorized by the Canadian government. This you will find across all three categories, which NOC is applicable for each of this category. Okay. Now, amount of work experience, 1 year in Canada in last 3 years, either combination of full-time or part-time work. In this, job offer is not required, education not required. Okay, while it is given like this, one has to understand how this program works, which we will talk in detail as we continue. Federal Skilled Worker Program, for this the language skill is CLB 7. Your occupation has to be in one of these NOCs, 0, A and B, 1 year continuous within the last 10 years, combination of part-time, full-time, or more than one job in your primary occupation. So it is important for you to know which is your primary occupation, and that will determine the NOC. Okay, and the job offer. Here it is not required, but you can get selection criteria points for having a valid job offer. So if you get a valid job offer, you get additional point. I came through Federal Skilled Worker Program and I did not have any job offer. I could still come. That's the beauty of this program. And here, secondary education is minimum required. You can get more selection criteria points for your post-secondary education. So here you will also see the kind of education you have, the kind of work you do, how it affects your ability to come on these programs. Now coming to Federal Skilled Trades Program. Okay, here the stress is on trade. English or French skill, CLB 5. So you see here it is getting asked for CLB 7, and here it says if you have CLB 5 for speaking and listening and CLB 4 for reading and writing, you can be eligible. Okay, so you see there is a drop in CLB here because it is skilled trade and this is skilled worker. Here Canadian or foreign experience in skilled trade under key group of NOC-B. Okay, and 2 years within last 5 years, either combination of full-time or part-time work. And you require a valid job offer of full-time employment for total period of at least 1 year, or a certificate of qualification in that skilled trade issued by a Canadian province, territory, or federal authority. And here education, they say, is not required. It looks simple, right? But it is not simple until you understand every aspect of this. And this is the reason I have made this video. After this, you will get an overview how to find information the right way, and how you can be competitive for any of the class under which you fall. Well, express entry is a point based system where every candidate is ranked and given point based on certain criteria, like what is your age, your education qualification, your work experience, your language proficiency with English or French, English and French. So based on these criteria, including if you have worked in Canada, if you have a job offer from Canada, if you have a family or sibling in Canada, you're given a point. And almost every fortnight, the express entry draw happens, wherein the cutoff score is declared. So let me show you. Okay, so you see the last cutoff score happened on December 23rd. How many candidates were invited? 5,000. The rank which had to be was 5,000 or above. Date and time, that was on 23rd December at this time last year. And the CRS score of lowest candidate rank invited was 468. And there was a tie breaking rule, which means that anyone who had entered before this date and time and had a score of 468 would be invited for submitting the application. Okay, so you can look at the previous round also. December 9, no program specified, which is open to all three categories which you had seen earlier. And as you go down, here also no program specified, November 25th, no program specified, November 18. So you go down, okay, and then you see no program specified for very long time. And then on August 20, 2020, Canadian experience class, which means if you were falling in this category, exclusive Canadian experience class, people were only invited in this. And then you have provincial nomination class. All this we will understand as we proceed in this video. What is Canadian language benchmark? Now, if you have to come to Canada and work, you need to know English or French. If you know both, well and good. And the Canadian government wants to know what is your language ability. And for this, you are checked on 4 parameters: writing, reading, listening, and speaking. This is for both English as well as French. There are different body or agency through which you can take this exam, and you need to know what the result means in terms of the Canadian language benchmark. Okay, we will get to see this also. For now, you understand this, you have to take a exam to have this for ability shown. Now coming to national occupation classification. Now here the Canadian labor market has been clearly described for each job according to the skill type and skill level. And for immigration purpose, these are the main job group. Skill type 0, management jobs. Skill type A, professional job that usually calls for degree from university. Okay, so you need to have degree from university for you to be in skill level A. Skill level B, technical job and skill trade that usually call for college diploma or training as an apprentice. Skill C and D, they don't qualify for express entry program. However, if you wish to read through, you can read through. So you have to be in one of these 3 categories. Okay, so now you know the CLB. Now you know there is a national occupation classification. Friends, I hope you have subscribed to my channel by now. If not, please subscribe and let's revisit so far what we have understood. We know that in express entry program, there are 3 different programs: federal skilled worker program, federal skilled trade program, and Canadian experience class. Okay, and you need to have a Canadian language benchmark. You need to know your national occupation classification code before you even start thinking about this program. Okay, and also you got to know that almost every fortnight the Canadian government's IRCC, they declare the comprehensive ranking score cutoff, and if you have the cutoff by the given date, you get the invitation to apply. Okay, so this much we have covered so far. Okay, now the fun begins. You remember the CRS cutoff score which I had shown, which happens almost every fortnight. Now where does that score come from? On the Canada government website, they have given a complete criteria for express entry. Okay, so you see here they have given various factors, and what is the point against that? Age, level of education, official language proficiency, Canadian work experience. If you have a spouse or common law partner factor, then their level of education, official language proficiency, Canadian work experience. Then there is something called as skill transferability factor, where based on your education, you're given the points, and then foreign work experience. Here, foreign experience means any experience which is outside Canada. In my case, I had foreign work experience. I had not worked in Canada. So based on that, based on my language proficiency, okay, I was given points. So the points are determined by these factors. Certificate of qualification. Okay, so then there are additional points, like if you have brother or sister living in Canada, French language skill, post-secondary education in Canada, arrangement employment, and provincial nomination program. So these are the detail, and then the detail have been given further breakdown. Like you can see that in terms of age between 20 to 29, you get maximum point 100 when you are coming with spouse, and when you don't have a spouse or common law partner, you get 110 point, and as the age increases, the point decreases. Okay, so likewise for the level of education, again points are given based on your education. So you see, for a doctorate level, you get highest point, and then it keeps reducing as it is masters, two or more certificates. Say you have 2 degrees, then you get this point, and likewise. Okay, and then official language proficiency. First official language. So say you are giving exam for English, for CLB 10 or more, you get 32 points. If you are with spouse, and without spouse, you get 34 points. Okay, and further when you come down, if you have second official language, say after giving your English exam, you also have a French result. So for that, you get additional point when it is a second official language. And if you have Canadian work experience, you see that for every year work experience gained, your points increases. Okay, so likewise it is for the spouse or common law factor. You can go through this list entirely. Okay, so this is the breakdown of how that point system comes. Now coming to comprehensive ranking system, or CRS tool. Okay, now this tool will give you what your CRS score will come to. Okay, now you have to remember that this tool has been provided by the Canadian government as a general guidance and reference purpose only. Okay, once you create your express entry profile, for creating express entry profile, you need to have certain information in place, which you will get to know once we go through this calculator. When I started my Canada immigration journey, I did not have few of the information, but this tool actually helped me to make a plan in such a way that my CRS score is competitive. I showed you the every fortnight result. So I had a plan that my score, I have to keep it above the cutoff score so that I get my invitation as early as. And it also helped me to keep in mind the possible CLB level which I needed to target so that I get the desired score, and many other things. So I will show you how this tool is, and you will also get to know many tips as we proceed with this. So once we come down, okay, in this tool, you can read at your own convenience what is your marital status. Now, remember the score table which I showed, where based on the status, married or unmarried, the point system will show you a different calculation. So say for a never married person, okay, I choose this. How old are you? Now here, the age, again, if you remember, between 20 to 29, there was a maximum point, and then as the age increases, the points gets to reduce. So we will see that impact also. Say a 31-year-old person, okay, what is your level of education? Enter the highest level of education for which earned a Canadian degree, diploma, or certificate. Say in case the person does not have a Canadian degree, diploma, or certificate, then as I said, you need to get your education credential assessment done. Okay, so without this, it will be of no use. You can get an indicative score, but to have a firm score, you need to have this. Now, there are many approved agencies which Canadian government has listed. I will share the link below. You can go and check which one suits you or where you would like to get the education credentials done. Now, remember, for you to get the education credential done, you will have to have the process started. In case you don't have a college transcript from your college, say you have done your bachelor's and master's from different college, you will have to reach your college during this COVID time. How it works, you may have to check that, and then get the transcript from them. In certain agencies, they have a requisite. Say if you are from India, you cannot be collecting that transcript yourself. You will have to send that directly to the agency through the university. So you have to keep this in mind. Okay, so this might take time, sometimes 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, and sometimes people, if they are not doing due diligence, they will just keep thinking that I will do this sometime later. So get this as soon as possible and send it to the education credentials assessment agency as soon as possible, because they themselves take, say I got it done from World Education Service, they took about 45 days to 60 days after they got my documents from the university. So during COVID time, they might be running with few more delays, and different agencies have different timeline. You can check their website in terms of how much time they take, how much prescribed fee they have, and so on. So I will give you an indicative number, but I insist you must go to their website and check details. Okay, so this is important. This is sometimes time consuming activity. Once you get your education credential assessed, you will know that what it is equivalent if it is not in Canadian University, and say the ECA comes as master's degree equivalent. Okay, so select master's degree. If it says degree, your master degree is equivalent to degree, and then you have two degrees, then you have to choose two or more certificate diploma degrees. Okay, so that's how it gets. And if it says not recognized and your bachelor is recognized, then only you choose bachelor's. So that's how it works. So in my case, when I was looking at World Education Service, okay, it had a tool, free tool, where I could input the detail of my wife and I, both our education details and the university where we had done. And it instantly gave us a report, which is not the final report, but you can call it as a dummy report on how the report will look like. And since they had our university details with them, they could give a sample of how the equivalent would look like. So say you get master's degree, you can choose that. Have you earned a Canadian degree, diploma, certificate? In most of the cases, it will be no. If you have yes, it is good. It gives you additional point. Official language, Canada's official language, English and French. So for that, you need to have a test result. Okay, let me pull this down. What are the test results acceptable? First of all, if you say no, it will not proceed further because this is a mandatory requirement for express entry. Once I say yes, it asks which language test did you take. So these are the options: CELPIP, IELTS, TEF, TCF. So TEF, TCF is a French language. CELPIP and IELTS is English. CELPIP, if you are taking from India, right now there are only few centers where this CELPIP exam happens. So you can choose between, either one of them. Say you have chosen IELTS. Okay, I'm sharing the link again below for all these test official sites. Here you will have to prepare for the exam. Okay, you cannot just go and sit for the exam thinking that I know English very well. You can go and check online. Many people, without having the strategy to appear for exam, they fear this exam so much so that they end up getting not good CLB level. And believe me, this is a fairly simple, straightforward exam if you follow the right strategy. In fact, I have made a video on how I prepared IELTS exam using all free resource on internet, and that really helped me to strategize and ace this exam and get a right score. Now here, if you have a golden score, remember this golden score. Here golden score is, usually people would say 8777. How it works is, in speaking you need to have at least 7. In listening you need to have 8. Okay, listening 8, speaking 7, reading 7, and writing 7. If you don't minimum get this score, you will see that in your overall CRS score, the score would drastically drop down. Okay, so this is a bare minimum which is required, but it does not end here. There are a lot of other complexity, like if your age is on higher side, so you are losing your point. So one way to gain point is to improve your language test, and you can only do to a certain extent, like maximum of this band 7.5 to 9 in speaking. So say you get 9 points in speaking, you would still be in this range. Okay, so that's how it works. So let's assume this band of 7, 8, 7, 7. This is called golden score. Remember this. Okay. Now, once you come down, do you have other language result? Say you know French. Okay, you can choose this. Now, recently, Canadian government for the express entry increased the francophone immigration points. It was already giving you points, but now knowing French gives you further points. So that's how this impacts your score. Okay, so say you don't have, not applicable. And in terms of work experience, in the last 10 years, how many years of skilled work experience in Canada do you have? Say, in most cases, you might not have a Canadian experience. If you have, you see what your knock is, and then you choose that. If you don't have, none or less than a year. Okay. In the last 10 years, how many total year of foreign skilled work experience? That is experience outside Canada, any country it can be, you have. It must have been paid full time or equivalent amount in part time, and only in one occupation. NOC skill type 0, A or B. Now, how to find this? There's a video on finding NOC. Okay, there you have all the details given by the Canadian government on how to show this your experience. Okay, say one thing to note here is, if you choose none or less than a year, you are not eligible for express entry. You need to have at least 1 year to be minimum qualified. Okay, but remember, it's very competitive. So unless you have 3 years or more, you will not get a good score. Okay, you can check towards the end when you do the calculation. So 3 years or more, you can check that core factor table, you will get to know this. Okay, 3 years or more. And then, do you have a certificate of qualification from Canadian province, territory, or federal body? Not many will have. In fact, majority will not have this. So the answer would be no. If you have yes, it is great. Additional point, do you have a job offer which is valid, supported by labor market impact assessment? Please go through this and understand what this labor market impact assessment is. Most of the cases we will not have this. When I came, I did not have any of these. So the answer, say, is no. If you have yes, you get additional point, and this point will actually make you so competitive that you will definitely come here. Okay, but otherwise also don't worry, not many people have this and they still come here. Okay, now coming to, do you have nomination certificate from province or territory? Good to have. If you don't have, don't worry, say no. If you have yes, then you get additional point. Okay, and do you or your spouse or common law partner, if they will come with you to Canada, have at least one brother or sister living in Canada who is citizen or permanent resident? Now, in case you don't have, select no. If you have yes, there are additional points for this. And then when you click onto the calculate your score, it's a immediate result which shows. Okay, it shows the score out of 1200. For age, what is your point? You can check the overall capital factor. You will see, because it's 31 year, okay, which is um, about 20 to 29 year. For each year the person loses point, and that's how this 99 has come. Because it's master, equivalent to master, the education level, the official language English. Remember that golden score 8777, okay, or 7877, because of which this score has come, and the total is 358. There is no spouse, single person. The skill transferability based on the education. Now, this also again changes based on the education credential you get. Okay, so you can see how that changes using this calculator. Foreign work experience, out of 50, it's 50 for 3+ years of experience. Remember, I talked about 3+ years experience. If you change that to 2 or 1, you can see how much the total is. No certificate or qualification. So the skill transferability factor, it shows 50 plus 50. And then additional point, if you get this, it really helps. If you don't get, okay, say in this case there is no additional point, and the score comes to 450. Now, if this person who is never married, 31 year of old, master's degree, which is education credential assessed, and does not have a Canadian degree, diploma or certificate, okay, and has a language test result of this 7877, does not have any other language result, and has a work experience outside Canada for 3 years or more, and rest of them are no, 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 okay, the score comes to 458. Now, if you compare this with the CRS draw, you saw the last draw had 468. If this person enters the express entry profile with this score, do you think he will get the invitation to apply? The answer is no. He may have to wait longer when the competition comes down. Okay. Now you see how this tool can be used to make your plan. Say if this person just improves his English language result. Say he gets a point, say 7.5 in speaking. Okay. In listening, he gets 8.5. In reading, he gets 8, and in writing he gets 7.5, and nothing changes. Come down, calculate the score, and suddenly this official language score changes, and now once you come down, the score becomes 470, which means if he enters the express entry pool, okay, the current CRS cutoff score is at 468, and say not much competition enters, then him getting the invitation to apply is almost certain. That's how you can use this CRS tool. Okay, it's a beautiful tool. You must understand how to use this. Once you understand this tool, you can create your contingency, and you will also know whether you're competitive for this express entry or not. If you are not competitive, you will start focusing on programs like provincial nomination, where maybe with your NOC in demand, you might still get invited. Okay, so that's how this CRS tool works. Okay. Okay friends, I hope by now you have subscribed to my channel. If not, please subscribe, as you will keep getting such important informative videos in future too. So far what we have learned, we understood the requirement for express entry, okay, what the eligibility criteria is. We also saw how this score system works, how the point is distributed. We now saw how to use the CRS score calculator, okay, and how with change in scenarios the score changes. We also understood that we need to have a education credential assessment done by an approved agency, okay, and we also understood that we need to have language proficiency test result from one of the approved institute for us to be eligible for express entry. Now, in addition, we also need to know how to find NOC. There is a video on that. We also need to know proof of fund, how much money we need to get to Canada. So that link I'm giving below, you can check based on number of people who are coming in. You need to have this information. Proof of fund, you need to show this to Canada government that you're getting this much money when you come to Canada. So this money you need to bring in when you come as a new permanent resident, so that for initial days when you don't have a job, you're looking for a job and you're settling in Canada, you have this money to be utilized. So that's the whole idea. Okay, so this is required, and there are many other requirements which we will learn one by one. Now coming to question what you have in mind, how much the express entry cost. You saw this information on how to come to Canada on express entry is completely free. It is on government website. You don't pay a single penny for this. uh, CRS score calculator is again a free tool. You don't pay anything for this. Okay, and it does not take much time. Now you need to have your education credential assessment done by a approved agency, but before that you have to get this transcript from your college or university. You will have to check your college or university website on how much they charge for the transcript. It would vary from university to university, and then you will have to check the official website of this approved agency on what they charge for this assessment, and this could also vary. Here the timeline can also vary. Okay, now coming to the language proficiency test. Here again you will have to see which agency you will go with for your language ability test and how much the fee is. Remember, these two costs is not for the government, it is for the agencies which is approved by the government. Okay, you're directly dealing with them. So this is the basic cost what you will incur before you enter your profile into express entry. So once you have your education credential assessed, and once you have your English language, and once you have your language test, then you are ready to create express entry profile. And to create express entry profile, again it is free of cost, no cost to you. It's a free of cost. You just have to sign in and create. I have made a video on that. Please check out every single step I have shown on how to fill that. You can go through that and you will get confidence that you can do this yourself, and it's very very simple. Now once express entry profile is created, the next task is to wait for the invitation to apply. When you get invitation to apply, again no cost, you're not paying anything. Once you accept invitation to apply, then there are cost for you to get your medicals done from one of the approved medical agency. This could also vary from designated hospitals. You will have to check which is the nearest hospital where you stay and how much it will cost. That is one. Now the next one is getting the police verification. This again depends on country to country and what your police verification in that country will cost. In India, when I got it done, it was not very expensive. In addition, uh, for getting your work experience document, uh, there is no money involved, but there is time and effort, because you might have to reach to your previous employers if you have worked in multiple organizations to have your documents ready. So there is no cost there, but there is a time factor. And in addition to that, you have to get your proof of fund, for which again there is no money transaction involved, but there are effort, because you may have to show certain documents as proof of fund. Uh, you may have to reach to your bank to get all these documents done. So I'm giving you an overview of how much it will cost in terms of expense. Okay, and if it is for couple, you can factor additional cost and then make your own table like this and see how much it will. It's not very expensive. If you have to go through agent or any of the licensed immigration professional, then they would ask for their service fee, which will increase your cost. So friends,
So friends, you saw how easy and transparent this process is. Once you understand which information is where and how to connect the dot, after that it's a easy sale. All you need to do is You have to be as transparent as possible as the government website and give all the required documents. After that, it's just a very easy sail through. I hope you enjoyed watching today's video. If you liked it, please press the like button and share with your friends, and do comment so that I get to know. Thanks for watching Canada Tried and Tested.